Hello my loves, welcome back to Marion K Tarot. This is going to be your week ahead reading for the 28th of July until the 3rd of August. We are changing months this week. Woof, what a July, what a month, wow. Right, let's see, what have we got coming up for you? This week I am using the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot. Okay, now I really use this deck. Like, there are some creators online who use it constantly, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it is one of my most treasured decks since the first edition. But I very rarely use it, and when it calls to me, it always I always kind of stand up and listen. You know, there's some decks that just do that, and this is one of them. And when it calls to me, it's like, what can we expect this week? So, what have we got going on? We're going all right. You know, how was the new moon last week for you? Let me know in the comments. So let's get a wee shufty. Some cards, please, for collective for the 28th of July until the 3rd of August, please. So we're in Leo season now. Happy birthday, Leos. Hope you've all been to the hairdressers. You've all made your appointments. Right, let's see. Okay, the bottom of the deck we have got the Magician. Okay, so I knew it was going to be a big week. I just had a feeling. Okay, so the Magician is immediately this actual image of the Magician. You know what? He's quite aggressive looking, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, it might just maybe... I mean, is he aggressive or is he determined? Right? You know, that's the question. It feels like he's aggressively determined there. How's that for a workaround? That feels right. So it's like this week, what do we need to be aggressively determined with? What are we want to work on this week that we need our wits about as that's coming through? There is something, whatever area of life that you feel like is most pertinent to you this week. Could be in general, you know, it could be multiple areas of our life. Remember, the Magician, he's got all the tools, you know, he represents every element. So it could be that even though he's Mercury, so he's air, traditionally he's an air site, he's an air card, but he has got, you know, the four tools of the tarot represented within his energy. So, you know, he's one of the kind of crossover characters whereby anything could happen. We have got the main cards proper. We have got the Two of Pentacles here. We have got the Knight of Swords. And we've got the King of Cups. Okay, and what strikes me is interesting is, right now, your Two of Pentacles is a card of Capricorn, right? The Capricorn obviously is very much an earth sign, right? But it's also the water goat. So see this water underneath here, these two pentacles floating, and there's a ship. There's a ship there. And it feels like, you know, there's a distinct story happening in these cards, and what it is it's like this kind of a deciding, this planning a journey. Okay, now when I say journey, it could be a physical journey, absolutely. It could be a metaphorical journey, it could be a journey in your mind, it could be a meditation. Okay, it could be a writing journey, it could be a journey of communication. Certainly with the Knight of Swords showing up here. Now, what does it mean? It means that there's going to be some kind of movement this week. Okay, this is not going to be a stagnant week. It feels very much where I say we, like, the royal we, right? It feels like, there's going to be a week, this is a week where you start in one location, again, can be physically or metaphorically, and throughout the week you move. Okay, there is a movement, there is very much a forward motion this week. Could be something that I get initiated last week with the new moon in Leo. Could be something like that, or it could be something that you've been planning for quite some time and you've just been waiting until you've had the finances to do it. It's just been sitting there waiting, but that boat is really shouting out to me. So it could be across water, it could be an emotional journey, again, water being related to the emotions. Okay, that's what it feels like. The Knight of Swords, how is that energy going to play up? Well, the Knight of Swords is going to transport it. It's going to be, it feels to me like there is some of you who are going to have quite an emotional conversation this week. And really, in order for you to get to the place where you want to go, this conversation is going to have to take place. Is it going to be a wee bit challenging? It could be. It could be challenging because it's like you might have to stand up for yourself. You might have to advocate for yourself, or you could possibly be advocating for others. Be your group, you're a group, or like your family, you've been the nominated spokesperson to have a conversation. There might be some kind of intervention going on with a family member. That's just came through to me quite strongly there. And how is that going to turn out? Well, we've got this King of Cups here, right? Scorpio energy, but he's got his cup tilted out, like almost like waiting to accept something. And if we look here, here's the wee boat. Here's the wee boat, and we can see it forward, it's moving, it's coming towards the king, and the king's kind of looking like, what's going on here? Who is this coming to see me? Whereas in this card, it's very clearly the boat is sailing away. So there is a complete story, and we need, in order for the boat to arrive at its destination, we need the communication skills of the Knight of Swords. So whatever is going on this week, I would suggest to you that you, and the Knight of Swords is Gemini energy, by the way, so we've got that connection again to Mercury and the Magician. The Magician is saying that you have got everything that you need, everything that is necessary, easy for me to say, for you to do this, for you to carry out this quest, if you like, because it's like one of the things I see like the Knight of Swords is like knights go on quests, so the Knight of Swords quest is within the realm of communication, how we communicate, the way we communicate, the speed of our communications. Bearing in mind, it's like we've got that whole Mercury retrograde energy going on. It's a bit of a challenge, but we will get there. So just always be mindful of that energy, the fact that that's kind of a playing up and playing around. But yeah, finding that physical balance before we go on the journey with the Two of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords is not going to do you wrong. The Knight of Swords is going to be like, I've got you. You'll find the words. I'll help you find the words. And the King of Cups is going to accept this. And there's going to be like a kind of it's like an emotional maturity. Because it isn't the Knight of Cups, it isn't the Page of Cups, it's not even the Queen of Cups, it's the King of Cups, and there's going to be this kind of surety of the messages of the communications being received with emotional maturity. And I think that's maybe something that has been missed. But to me, the King of Cups is here to suggest that whatever message you've got that you feel like you need to share, you will be able to share it. Okay, my loves. Interesting energy this week. So if you are going somewhere, if you are physically travelling, do let me know, because my wee Sagittarius ascendant wants to know. Okay. Lots of love to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Bye.